everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever it is that you're watching this, whenever you're watching this. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all had a good week so far. And yes, it has been another exciting little period. We were meant to have 3 songs by now. We were meant to have San Marino releasing their song on Tuesday, and now that's been postponed. But in the last sort of 24-ish hours, we have had Cyprus releasing El Diablo by Elena Tsagrinou, I think I said that right, and Germany have also just released I Don't Feel Hate by Jendrik. And yes, let's have a little bit of a chat about them, because we now are up to, I think it's 12 songs this year. 12 songs now? Yeah. Which is exciting. We now have, people can now have a top 10 and actually miss songs off technically, which is going to be interesting, because I've got my top 10 and I haven't decided like what's going to drop out yet for these two. Even if they make my top 10, who knows? You're going to find out. Thank you to everybody who has been watching so far as well. You can comment along in the live chat if you are watching live. If you're watching back, please do leave a comment. Always great to see, and always great to have a look at people's opinions. So I think to start off with on this one, I think we kind of have to talk about the most recent song into our 2021 group. So let us talk about Jendrik for Germany with I Don't Feel Hate. Okay, so I feel like there is a lot of hate for this one already out there. It kind of leaked yesterday, I want to say, and there was like snippets of it. It felt like there was a lot of people getting a lot of early reaction into this one. And yeah, it didn't get an immediate great response. Now, we've had the music video since then, and it's been fully released, and we can hear and see exactly how it's meant to be, which is always the best way. And to be honest, this is the kind of Eurovision song that scares me, as somebody that talks about Eurovision online probably too much, because I have no idea what to think about this song personally, and also what it's going to look like when we get to Rotterdam, how the live performance will be, but also just generally how the wider audience is going to perceive this. Is it going to be one of those songs that everybody falls in love with and it, smashes the televote, comes top 5 in the televote or something, and the jury hates it? Or is it going to be something where it's more middle of the road? Or, is that the people that do hate it, do they have a reason for that? And will it not perform very well? It's so difficult to tell. It's so polarizing. I don't remember. Definitely in terms of the songs we've had so far this year, I don't think there's anything that has been this polarizing this quickly. It's very fun. It's very catchy. It's very lighthearted. I mean, it has been stuck in my head all day. I've just got my foot keeps tapping along to it. But, sometimes an earworm isn't always the best thing, The Crazy Frog was an earworm that we couldn't escape, and that was the Crazy Frog. Also showing my age there by talking about the Crazy Frog, potentially. It's really hard to tell. I mean, Jendrik is so charismatic. So that no matter what, that stage performance, he is going to be a great leading man, and he's going to be able to sell no matter what he puts across. The music video is fun, and obviously it has a really nice message. There are lots of positives, but at heart, do I really like it, or do I feel like I enjoy parts of it and I don't enjoy all of it? It's a very, very tricky one to talk about, and I think that is something that is going to really cause issues moving forward. Like, not for him, but just when you try and think, where is this going to finish? Where is this going to place in the grand scheme of Eurovision? Because, we've had songs like, I've seen people compare it a little bit to Polopunk, No Prejudice, and obviously, same message, don't hate on people, don't give middle fingers, no prejudice. There is that kind of appeal, but I feel like it's almost a whole other, it's an entirely different genre style to Polopunk. I've also seen people say, oh, is it a bit like Alf Poyer, who is a very, very different man and has different beliefs to Jendrik, I assume and think, from what I've gathered. But even that was more a parody. And this isn't a parody. This is a genuine entry. You could see another artist performing this, I guess, but I don't think they would. It's so also intrinsically Jendrik that it's difficult to like just position it somewhere in the pantheon of Eurovision. I guess also Tomorrow. I mean, if you're thinking about like ukuleles and like little strummy plinky plonky, Tomorrow, Malta 2013 is maybe the best example that you could go with that. And again, that did very, very well in the televote from what I remember. The 2013 system makes it hard to tell sometimes, but Gianluca was very popular. And, Tomorrow did do well. So could this do the same? It's, Germany traditionally over the last few years have played it very safe. And this isn't a safe option. This is something that is quite outside the box. It's not a outright pop song like Violent Thing would have been. It's not, schmaltzy like Sisters was, or even you Let Me Walk Alone, even though that did very well. And I really enjoyed it by the end. So yeah, I think I am incredibly excited / nervous to see what this looks like in Rotterdam or in his recorded performance, whatever it might be. And it could do something special. Unfortunately, I cannot see a jury respecting this enough for it to do well on a jury vote. I can see maybe a juror here or there actually really liking it, putting it, third or fourth or fifth in their ranking, but I don't see it getting enough steady. Like, this is love it or hate it, I feel like, which again is also good at Eurovision. You want people to love you and to be memorable, and for them to ultimately vote for you. If you get into their top 1 or 2, they're going to vote for you. This feels like it is playing for those 1 or 2s, and it will either slowly rack up points that way through a televote, or it will do much better than that, or it might not do anything. It's so difficult to tell. He seems like a really great guy, though. Like, he seems like he's had a lot of fun. It's really weird to think that a Eurovision campaign, a campaign to be your country's Eurovision act, would win like this, like would actually go. Like, it feels like he kind of just like sprung it on the German broadcaster, and they were like, okay, sure. Which feels weird. Like, you often see like people in the UK being like, I'm going to represent Eurovision, or like campaign to get the Frock Destroyers or the Banana Drama or whatever they were called to represent Eurovision. And that never happens, usually for good reason in the UK. But then this has actually worked for him. So fair play. I look forward to, I do look forward to seeing what this looks like in final form, because there's a lot going on in the music video and it's a nice story. How that translates to a stage performance, unless you do just throw coloured flour and dust and glitter and make it into an explosion like it kind of is in the video, who knows. But it's one to look out for, and I still don't know where I would rank it right now. Whether it's just in my head because I've listened to it a lot already today, and whether it will fade, who knows. We will see. I think as more and more entries come along, I don't see anything being like this. I can't see another artist in the field so far coming along and doing something that is very this. Like, nothing is going to be I Don't Feel Hate. So that will help it stand out. But whether more slickly produced pop-friendly or radio-friendly or chart-friendly songs will come along and supplant it, that might be its worry. I feel like something more slick always wins Eurovision. Dorados did great to finish in the top 10. I feel like that is kind of where this is aiming for. It's not a Eurovision winner, but it's probably going to do better than Germany have for most of the last decade, which probably is a good thing for Germany. They probably would be quite happy with that. So anyway, that is sort of my feelings on I Don't Feel Hate. Do let me know what you're thinking about it over in the live chat, in the comments. Let's head over to the live chat now, and we can have a look to see a few things. If they manage to make, Sarah, if they manage to make staging as fun as the music video, it might do okay, maybe. I think they need to bring the fun. They need to make something that they are able to keep that spirit and that joy that the video brings into the staging, which I think it will. He shows his charisma in his videos and things like that. So I believe that he'll be able to do that on stage as well. I think there is meant to be a live performance coming out later tonight when I'm streaming this. I think his first live version is going to be then. I imagine it'll probably be a bit more stripped back. We will see though. We will see. And Jack, I love his personality. This song should only be on CBBC or CBeebies, which are kids channels in the UK, if you didn't already know that. It's not fair. It's playing to a younger audience in theory, I feel like. And obviously, he has made his name, quote unquote, through TikTok and short form video and things like that. So obviously he will have that audience, but I think that there is also an appeal for this outside of that. And we'll see whether that does end up translating into votes as well. Tyrone says, Violent Thing was so much better, if I am honest. I did like Violent Thing. As a song, obviously, I prefer Violent Thing. I don't know how Violent Thing would have done on the night, though. I wonder whether, and this might be a spoiler for what I'm about to talk about in a moment, but it might have been one of those really slickly produced, good pop songs that ends up just sort of being middle of the road on the night or middle of the scoreboard on the night. I think that would have depended a lot on his live performance as well, like with everything else going on, because I don't know whether Violent Thing would have done quite as well there, although definitely would have done better with the jury. And Milosh says this will be nowhere near the bottom places. I would be surprised, very, very surprised if this is, bottom 3-4, because I do think there will be enough of a televote support in theory. But again, I don't know. I really don't know, because that overwhelming feeling of people not really getting it might be enough to keep it away. But if enough people love it, they will vote for it. So very interesting things happening with Germany. Good luck to Jendrik. Let us now move on to the other recently released song. And we've got more coming over the next couple of nights as well. We've got Ireland and Slovenia, I believe, in the next 2 days. So I will probably do a stream about those as well once they are out, probably. And yes, so yesterday, Wednesday, February the 24th. 24th, I got that right. That's quite good for me. I'm terrible with dates usually. Wednesday, February 24th, saw the release of Cyprus's El Diablo, Elena Tsagrinou. I'm going to double check that is how you say her name, by the way, because I just suddenly realised I'm going to be saying this a lot, and I'm 99... Tsagrinou. I'm sure that's right. If I'm wrong, and you are Greek or Cypriot, please do let me know in the live chat or in the comments how I'm meant to pronounce that, because I'm going to have to talk about these more and more over the next few weeks, months. And nothing used to annoy people more when we used to mispronounce names on the regular. Let's see. So, Cyprus, yes, El Diablo. It's not Fuego or Replay, which, or, running. So, let's cast aside that whole, it's the regular thing that seems to come up with Cyprus these days, where it's like, oh, it's a copy of Fuego. They're just trying to do Fuego again because it's a woman who, is attractive and can dance and can perform. Like, they're not all the same. I realise Sandro isn't in that group, but you get what I mean. That being said, it's very difficult to listen to El Diablo. I'm going to say this outright, first of all. I really like it. I do like it. It's, again, I'm in this situation with Eurovision 2021 where I don't really dislike any of the songs. They're all at least a good or better. And El Diablo is in my top half, I would say. But it is very difficult to listen to it and not hear the Lady Gaga influence and also a little bit of a Rita Ora influence. To me, it sounds like Judas and Anywhere by Rita Ora. Other people have said it sounds like Bad Romance. Other people have said it sounds like Alejandro. There have been a lot of people saying it sounds like something else. Now, that is not saying that it's a copy of anything. What it says is that the people writing it were inspired by another artist, which happens all the time in music. It just feels like in this case, it's maybe a little bit more obvious, but I don't mean that in a bad way, just to be clear, because I love those songs. I'm very happy to hear songs like that. I listen to Lady Gaga far too much. So if I hear somebody performing a song like that, chances are I'm going to like that too. However, it will immediately raise the question to people watching it for the first time, being like, doesn't that sound like a song? And they might end up being too focused on it sounds like XYZ to think about this is actually El Diablo and this is Elena performing it, which is a concern in a voting situation. I think it's a great Spotify music radio hit. I think it's really catchy, and I like the choir voice I love El Diablo bit. I was a bit hesitant about that when I first heard it, but in the context of the song, I think that's actually works really well, and it's something that makes it sets it apart a little bit. Obviously then other people have said it's a copy of other music videos, and it's like, it's inspiration runs throughout the music industry, and it's not a bad thing. People are allowed to be inspired by others. And yeah, it is a very slickly produced pop song. That is kind of the bread and butter of it, and I feel like it's another one where we're going to need to see a live performance, because Fuego was a very slickly produced pop song that, to be honest, I didn't really think much of until I saw it live for the first time in the first rehearsals, and suddenly I was like, oh, that could win Eurovision. And I saw it a second time and I was like, that's going to win Eurovision, and I was nearly right. And then we had Replay, where it didn't quite translate as well live. And this one, I feel like we're going to need to see it fully live again, because also I feel like we often see like the Greek and Cypriot artists do live versions on Greek TV, which aren't actually live. So I want to see it in Rotterdam / wherever it's filmed, and actually see how it all comes across in a final form, because it needs something else to lift it above a very slickly produced, good pop song. Because again, is it going to be an overwhelming favourite in its current state? Probably not. I feel like it's a strong song that should make it out of the semi-final. I would be very surprised if it didn't make it out of the semi-final. But then after that, it's like, where does it go? Where does it go to get to the next step? And it needs the staging. It needs something else. I have faith in Cyprus that they can do that. We saw it with Fuego. Elena seems like a very good performer. So there is everything working in its favour. It has a very solid base from where it is right now. But does it excite me as a potential Eurovision winner? Not really. And I suspect that there will be other songs. I'm expecting something like Moldova maybe to have something that competes with this in a solid female pop song rank. And that might be its issue. Greece is probably going to be a very solid female-led pop song. So that's where it needs that little bit extra, I feel like. And there is, we can see flashes of that in the music video. That there's an idea there. It just needs to really translate into a live performance, because otherwise, I just think that most people's first thought will be, what does this sound like? As opposed to, my eyes cannot be taken away from this amazing performer on stage and her good, solid pop song. So, yeah, that sounds more negative than I mean to be about it, because I do like it. It's definitely going to be in my top half right now, and probably moving forward. Like, it's gonna be up there, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's got the things right now to be a top 5, top 10. It feels more middle of the scoreboard right now. But we will see. We will see. As I said, I have faith in what Cyprus can and probably will bring. Here we go. Let's have a look at some of the comments then. So yeah, those were my thoughts. Do let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. I know Greek and Cypriot fans, you are a passionate bunch. So I say everything with love, but I know. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat what your thoughts are about El Diablo. Let's have a look what the live chat is currently saying. Cyprus is overrated by the fans every year apart from 2020. I mean, there's reason why fans kind of love Cyprus. I mean, Fuego is sort of the uncrowned winner, runner-up kind of thing going on for it. So we'll see. I think that, they have found their niche, Cyprus, and they're going to keep going to that probably, other than 2020. And lo and behold, the reaction in 2020 wasn't great. So I'm not surprised they went back to strong female pop song for 2021. We'll see. We'll see how it works out in the grand scheme of things. People saying, yep, defo Rita Ora vibes. I hear Bad Romance. I love Zara Larsson. It's distracting. Yeah, there is a lot of comparisons going on. Planedo Amico, I think that's how you say that. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Let's not forget how Hero sounded like a complete rip-off. Not a wording they would use, but admittedly even more so than El Diablo, how it went on to win, having had a great performance. That is true. Heroes did sound like that David Guetta song. Was it that one? There was or maybe it was another one. I mean, it had a similarity, which was also there. That is true, but I feel like I guess Heroes had that extra something. It had the stage performance. It had, it also had a very charismatic lead singer, and I'm sure Elena will be able to bring that. But it had like the stage performance around it. So again, who knows? Maybe we will see. The distraction came with the Balloon Boy and everything that Mons was doing was great around that. So maybe, they'll be able to hide away from that. That removes that distraction immediately. And then maybe people later on will be like, God, didn't that Cypriot song sound like Bad Romance, Alejandro, whatever it might be. Product placement is a thing. So I was sort of more focused on because they're talking about tacos and tamales and sriracha on her body, which is an odd choice. And then I was like, why was there no product placement for food? Like, you had bananas in the Fuego video. Turns out there was a Head & Shoulders advert in it, which I apparently missed when I tweeted about that. But yes, I'm sure Moroccan Oil, the official sponsor of the Eurovision Song Contest 2021, will be very happy about that. I imagine, that definitely won't make it to the stage in Rotterdam. Be interesting to see whether they even edit that out of the version that ends up on the Eurovision YouTube. Maybe, because it would be odd for that to be there against your competitors against each other. My marketing head is playing out there. Lovers in the Sun, that was it. That was the David Guetta song. And yeah, it's giving me show closer vibes. Now I think, let's just have a look whilst this is live Googling, because I want to say it's in the second half of a semi-final. Let's have a look. I haven't learnt this yet, as you can probably tell. Which really, I should have, because it's the exact same order and like halves as last year. My bad. It is... second half of the first semi-final. Now that's going to be interesting, because it's also in there with TikTok, which again, very competently performed female pop song. And you've got Eden Elaine in there, you've got Destiny, who's probably going to bring something up tempo, Offendies as well. There is a lot of strong female performers go away with Shum in that second half of the first semi. The first semi was always going to be difficult last year, and this year it feels like it's got even trickier. And then you've got like the wild cards like Tix as well that you have to think about. So yeah, I am excited to see what happened in that first semi-final. It could very well close the semi-final. I don't think they would have go away close it again. It depends. Azerbaijan, maybe they're gonna do something crazy probably on stage. Who knows? It's going to be exciting. But yeah, it's got a show closer, then grand final opener vibe about it, which often happens. Like whoever closes a semi-final and then qualifies tends to end up then opening it. I feel like it happened to Michaela, it happened to Melovin, it happened to the person in Imri in 2017 as well. So yeah, that's a fun little trope. We will see whether or not that plays out again. Anyway, those were my thoughts about Cyprus and Germany. Do let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. As I said, probably going to do a stream on Sunday where I will talk about Ireland and Slovenia, because they will release their songs for Leslie Roy and Anna Suklic, which I'm very excited about because I liked both of their songs in 2020 and I'm hoping they do just as well this time. And also we'll have Melody Festival and lots of other things to talk about going forward into then. I'm also working on a non-live video, which I keep saying I'm going to do, and now I am actually working on it again, where I'm going to be talking about the first ever national final, which, spoiler alert, will be handily timed to come out next week, if you can have a guess about what might be airing next week that could have been a national final 65 years ago. Which is exciting. Looking forward to that one because it's going to be quite interesting, hopefully. So look forward to that. Thank you very much for watching. If you have, please do subscribe, like, leave comments, do all the good things. Share it far and wide if you want to. Be good, be nice, no hate. It's a positive. It's just a song contest at the end of the day, and let's just have some fun. And I will catch you all on the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later, guys. Bye.